All right, welcome to another one from the Outdoor Analyst. I've got a crazy one for you today. And I actually saw this on a couple of other videos that were posted. One was like 9 years ago, one was a couple months ago. And I just wanted to do my own version of how many knives should a man have? And right now, I'm at least 10. I know there should be 11, but I actually don't even have one of the categories. So this is going to be super, super fun. Feel free, put your own top knives in there for what you think every guy should have as well. And then kind of like, what sort of list that should be. But here is mine before we dive in. If you wouldn't mind hitting subscribe if you're new to the channel. I'm a small channel, it helps. I'm posting about a video a day for knife, axe, outdoor content, hunting. And if you do like hunting, check out my book on Amazon, link below. Awesome hunting book. But okay, now that the fun stuff is in there, let's dive in. What's the first category? I think every guy should absolutely own a slip joint. I think everybody needs to. You never know what the occasion is going to be. Rather, you need to go super fancy, something like, a really nice GEC. This is one of the DLT specials. And I think this is a Mammoth. It's just a gorgeous looking GEC. Ridiculous knife. Absolutely fantastic. Or if you need something really small, this is a really old, I think this is an older GEC. I actually need to clean that up. 1095, got a little bit of rust on there. Very small for the suit. And then one of my favorites, and this is weird. This is one of the coolest little cases out there. Oh my goodness, I love this. And this is an S35 VN. Just a gorgeous little slip joint. And I think everybody needs to have a knife like this for special occasions, whether that's weddings, whether that's hopping into the suit, hopping into the office, whatever you're doing. It's nice to have a knife that is classy and it won't scare people. I think that's a knife every guy needs to have for sure. Throw a Victorinox in there too if you want. I just don't really get into those too much, if you want me to be completely honest. I really like GECs, and I still like case knives, especially this one. This was a gift from my parents, just super, super cool. I love this. This was actually from Smoky Mountain Knife Works. I was walking through there with the fam, and I was like, hey, this really is the coolest slip joint I have seen in a while. I mean, look at that thing. I need to do a review on this. And you know what? Showed up on my birthday, and how cool is that? Awesome. Thanks, Mom and Dad. Really appreciate that. What other knife should a guy have? A regular folder. Pick whatever you want. I love Spyderco's. This is a PM2. Little extra lynch clip on there. This is in crew wear and micarta. Absolutely love that. Or if you want to be totally blah, I do love my Benchmade Mini Adamas. It's way overpriced. It is a fantastic knife. Or, go for a couple of different versions of, losing some of the knives I'm going to be using in the future here. Kind of a budget version of a nice knife. This is a CJRB Bolt. Absolutely love this little knife. Definitely on a great budget, but has lots of different ways to open it. Super, super cool crossbar lock. Absolutely love that. Fantastic little knife. Or if you want to go super budget, this thing's probably one of the most impressive little titanium blades I've had in a long time. Titanium D2. Look at that thing. This was 20 bucks on Black Friday, but usually it's running around 30. This thing's awesome. Wildlands PK2. Man, it's also probably one of the smoothest knives out there. It's ridiculous. I don't know how they're doing this for budget knives, but they are kind of top-notch these days. But seriously, I think everybody needs a good folding knife, ideally with a fairly decent deep riding pocket clip. I'm a big fan of that so that it doesn't stick out everywhere. That one's not super deep, but pick whatever you like. So many good options out there. Everybody needs one of these for sure. Now, in the last 2 years, I have really picked up and gotten into just honestly EDC fixed blades. I think there's a couple different types. Rather you're going for kind of real small ones. Now this is kind of a custom knife. This thing's pretty darn sweet. This is Joe Mangiafico. I think this is the small burden trout. Or maybe it's like the smallest one out there. Super awesome, but has an awesome pocket carry clip on the sweet Kydex. It just rides nice and deep. Not a lot of the knife shows, but it is an excellent, excellent knife. The Knives by Nuge Wicket, using this tiny little pocket sheath. Yet again, having a fixed blade EDC, I think, is a knife that every guy needs to have. If you haven't done it before, it's worth it. That's a 3-finger knife, and it is absolutely amazing. And kind of another one that I'll kind of take on fancier occasions. This is the Exodus Knife and Tool Adventure Craft. I actually put some custom Lucas Carroll scales on this thing, S35VN, but it's so paper thin as far as just like the profile of this knife. I can put this in a suit. Yes, you can fix blade carry when you're going really fancy too, and I absolutely have. Pardon me losing my voice a little bit, but awesome knife. I think every guy needs to have a micro pocket EDC is what I'm kind of calling these. And these are just some of my favorites that I use all the time. Excellent little knife. Probably the Wicket's the one that I absolutely use the most. And it looks like it's taken a beating, and it has. And it's held up also incredibly well. Then I think maybe a larger pocket EDC would be pretty good. And I probably have too many knives for this. Maybe I should have added this. For a budget version, this is the Kaiser, this is the Drop Bear. Yes, I should have added that with the other ones. Kaiser Drop Bear, nice little miniature Kydex sheath, a budget version. You can get this in some pretty fancy steels too, but I like the AEBL on this. Actually, is this AEBL or 14C? Ah, this is 14C 28N. They do have one that is an AEBL though. Awesome little micro carry. All right, kind of jumping up in size. I think a larger pocket carry is great because, you know, I use this for deer knives too, larger pocket carries. A super nice one, this is the Lycian EDC Dakota. This is probably one of the most gorgeous looking knives I own. Still able to pocket carry this, absolutely does all the EDC work I need. You can do deer with it without a problem. Kind of along that same lines, you know, a Reef Circadian. Awesome pocket sheath I have set up with this one. Magna Cut on here. This one's like 0.09 of AEBL. This is 0.12 thick of Magna Cut. Awesome ergonomics. And that's kind of what you get when you have like a larger EDC. You're getting a knife that you can hammer grip, that you can pretty much do almost every regular knife task that you need to do. Pardon. Just in a small package. Another great one. This is going to be the White River Ursus Cub through an Ulti clip on here, one of the little mini ones. This also has custom Lucas Carroll scales on it. Actually, so does this. As you can tell, I love that guy's work. But they add a little bit of extra swell and grip, especially to this knife. Don't really need it for the Circadian, to be completely honest with you. I just like the looks of it. But basically, this one is a really nice upgrade because you get a longer handle as well when it comes to the scales. I think every guy should have one of these. It's a utility monstrosity that you can still conceal carry fairly well. So that's number, is that 4? That's number 4 on the list as far as knives go. I think every guy should have one of those. Now we're kind of getting into a little bit bigger stuff. Let's hit on, I think every man should have a hunting knife. There's tons of different ones out there. I'm going to show you the 3 that I used this year, that I did deer with this year, and they all are awesome. We'll just start with the first one. Lycian Dakota. Lycian Knives Dakota. Actually, this is the bigger version of the EDC I just had out. Incredible deer knife. Can do a little bit of bushcraft too, but I've got these kind of dedicated to deer. The Knives by Nuge Bruin is a masterclass in deer work as well. Excellent knife. Just a little bit smaller in the handle, and then kind of more of a, this was a pocket carry I did as well, so this could kind of move into the large pocket carry. But this is the Reef Range Wolf. Beautiful knife. Kind of more small, on the smaller side, so you can kind of, I don't want to say do more backpacking, but backpack hunting, really going in deep, that's kind of a good option too. These are all 3 immaculate. They're kind of top of the line, and I love them. This will do all the different types of animals that you need for processing, and I think that's just excellent. I think every guy needs it. You get into hunting, you should get into hunting. It's good for the family, it's good for food, and it's good for your soul. Absolutely. All right, that's number 5. All right, number 6. Every guy needs a good utility knife. Pick your style that works best for you. This is what I kind of like to think of as, you're doing work around the house, you're doing work around the property. What do you want on your belt? Now this is Cold Steel Master Hunter and CPM 3V. Excellent, excellent knife. This thing is an absolute tank. It's just a beast of a knife. You're not going to have any issues. Super comfortable rubber handle for really doing work, especially in the cold. Excellent, excellent choice. Kind of a super high-end one I'm just testing again is the Falcon Even F1 Pro. My original knife in this was the F1 without the Lamb COS or the bolster, and that was my beater for years and years and years. The Pro is just kind of the next version up. A little thicker, a little better for woodwork. Very, very cool knife as well. Fits that whole category. Or if you want to go crazy, TRC Polheim and MagnaCut. This is 3V, this is Lamb COS, this is MagnaCut. Absolutely awesome, awesome knife. One of the nicest looking fancy things out there. Yet again, these all fall into, in my mind, a utility belt knife or really, really big pocket knife that you can get work done. Every guy needs one of those. Absolutely, for sure. That is darn true. Okay, now let's dive into the next category. Probably just by size. I'm going to go, I think every guy needs a true woodworking bushcraft knife. And this can go in a lot of different ways. I probably have way more in this category than I'm bringing out today, and that's totally fine. I'm going to throw out some of my favorites. Probably also one of my favorite knives of all time, Lycian Woodsman. Yeah, his knives make it on this list quite a bit because I have a lot of them, and they're just excellent. This is one of my favorite woodworking knives of all time. I think every guy needs a good bushcraft knife that just does woodworking, and I think bushcraft actually is a lot more than woodworking. It also has animal processing, so I'm going to call this just your woodworking knife. The Work Tough Gear Forester, also amazing. This is an A2 tool steel. This is in K329 Bowler. Super tough steel. Super awesome knife. These have insanely thin edges. Those are both convex actually as well. And then here's a good Scandi. I think a great Scandi knife makes woodwork absolutely amazing. This is an LT Wright Outback in CPM 3V. Holy cow, is that a comfortable knife. These are all super comfortable knives for doing continuous work over and over and over again. Think like feather sticks, notches. That's where you're just constantly doing the same motion. And they have to have immaculately comfortable handles. And that's what all three of these have. Crazy comfortable handles for long-term use. And they're really good at zipping wood out. Oh man, these are so good. Every man needs a bushcraft knife. All right, was that number 7 on there? I think it was. I guess let's go on to the 8th category. Everybody needs a camp knife. Actually, man, I may have an extra category. That's okay. But every man needs a camp knife. Think Reef F5. This is the Gen 2 and MagnaCut. I actually just put some custom scales on here. These are Micarta over the G10s that I had. These are actually Lucas Custom Carroll scales again. They're a little lighter, and that makes this knife even more wieldy. Oh, it's so good. It's such a good knife. Here's the Lycian Bush Dog, one of my favorite camp knives of all time. This is an A2 tool steel, like 3/16 thick, about 6 inches. This is about 5 inches on the blade. Camp knives, I think, are great between 5 and 6 inches. You can go a little smaller, think White River Knives, Ursus 45. Awesome knife yet again. This is a killer knife. Oh, I have Lucas Custom Carroll scales on this too. Man, you know what? I should just be like an ad for this, dude. Hey, you should support me. Hook me up, man. Hook me up. Start sponsoring. But no, awesome, awesome scales. Awesome, awesome knives. This is an S35 VN. Super thin edges on these two. This has a slightly thicker edge, but it's also one of the knives I'm okay with absolutely abusing, and I have totally abused this knife. And it cleans up so well. I've batoned this through tons and tons of logs, and this coating is immaculate. Look at that. Like, oh, it's just done so well. Everybody needs a camp knife for food processing, larger woodwork, getting fires going, kind of a do-all knife. I think that's where that fits in really well. And these are all excellent options. Can't go wrong with any of them. Actually, I don't think you can go wrong with any of the knives on this list. They're amazing. As a bonus, I think a combat knife is important. Every guy needs one. Kind of like my main one's going to be the Primitive Bear Knives Minuteman. This is an AEBL. Super, super awesome knife. It is kind of like a survival knife that you can do everything with. It's a 5-inch blade. Combat survival is kind of where I'm going to call this category. You can stick it on your belt, and this is awesome to go with you to do anything that you need kind of in the tactical realm. Work Tough Gear has another awesome knife in this, the Asset Bowler K329. Very much on the 5-inch survival blade. I think it fits combat pretty well. It's a little heavier, a little thicker, maybe even a little tougher. Awesome, awesome slicers on those. And then if you want to go really old school, well, you do a small Bowie knife. That's kind of the old way to do it. This is a custom gem coffee, and if you really want to kind of have that sort of style, yeah, that'll do it. Go Wild West on somebody with that sucker. Totally works. It's an old 1084, super tough steel, but yeah, it'll get the job done. Heck of a guard on these things. They all have a pretty decent guard, but I think they need to be very utility focused, because that's where I think these knives fit in this day and age. Was that number 9? Shoot, we're on to the last category, guys. And maybe one or two gals out there. It's going to be fun. Last category, everybody needs a chopper. You just need one, whether that's for batoning logs, whether that's for taking out trees, taking out limbs. I'm actually going to put 4 on this list. We'll start with the smallest. It's okay to have a smaller sort of chopper. This is the Work Tough Gear Mountain Lion. Good for doing small work too, because you can choke up. But it also chops fairly decently. I take this when I squirrel hunt most of the time, just because we have lots of downed trees all the time from the storms. This is great for removing small stuff. And it's also a lighter package. I really enjoy it. Kind of moving up if I know I'm going to be consistently doing chopping work. This one's really fancy, but it's awesome. One, the sheath is amazing. Michael Spangers is the Spirit of the Bear. He does custom leather work. And he did it for my Midnight Patriot. This thing's absolutely beautiful, from Redbeard Blades. Awesome, awesome chopping knife. It's a little bit bigger than the Mountain Lion. Has a little bit thinner of an edge on there. And it's meant for more chopping tasks. And it does that incredibly well. For taking out just saplings, basically really in the spring too. This knife is amazing. Absolutely amazing. Killer knife. But can absolutely do kind of larger chopping, larger batoning for these two. But there are knives out there that almost move into the hatchet realm. And this is probably the coolest knife just about that I own. Yet again, custom leather from Spirit of the Bear. But the knife is the Primitive Bear Knives Skunk Ape. It is a 1/4 inch thick. Actually, I should say this. This is almost a 1/4 inch of K329, super tough. This is 8670 at a 1/4 inch, 8.5 inch blade. This is 52100 at a 1/4 inches, almost a 10-inch blade on here. Amazing batoning knife, amazing chopping knife. Just a beast. Much less wieldy than these two, but an absolute beast. Now I'm going to bring on the largest knife I own, and one of the largest knives I think that's out there. If you literally want to take down trees consistently, kind of like a hatchet, yeah, there are knives for that. This is the Work Tough Gear Mountain Man. This is over a 1/4 inch. I think it's 0.28 thick of Bowler K329. It is massive, yet it is massively comfortable. And amazingly, it's only 38 ounces. You can do small stuff with this convex edge. Super, super awesome secondary bevel convex. I'm not even going to be able to fit this thing on camera, am I? The whole thing. Maybe if I do a diagonal. It is a beast, but it also is a super comfortable handle. Takes out trees really well. 3 to 4 inch trees, yeah, no issues. You can zip those down in, I don't know, less than a minute. Pretty darn impressive with this sucker. It is basically a small axe. The Mountain Man is insane. Now, it's heavy to carry, so this is the UTV knife, honestly. Keep it in the UTV, so it's just an actual tool. It's not going on the belt. Other knives can go on the belt here. This one's just, I think it's a little too big. You got to Boldrick carry this if you're going to carry it. I mean, it's 38 ounces. It's an absolute tank. But an awesome knife. I think every guy needs a big chopper. especially, you know, when trees come down, it's good to delimb. Just have something that you can do that with very, very easily. And all these are awesome at that task, no doubt. I'm not saying you should forego having a really nice axe and a good saw, but definitely gives you another option that's out there. Okay, I hope that was fun. I had a blast. I think that is, everybody should have one of each of those categories. Now, I know I'm missing a kitchen knife. I know it. And that's okay. I think everybody should for sure have a kitchen knife, but I actually don't use them that often, so I'm okay without having one on my list. But I know someone's going to give me crap over that. And I know if I actually had a really nice kitchen knife in the future, I probably would use it pretty well. Oh, man, this is just cool. This is just cool. I love using this knife. Use this knife all the time. Gets tons of use. Such a win. All right, let me know the 10 knives you think, or post a video on it. I think that's even better. Tag me. I love to check them out. What are your top 10? Or maybe more. Do you think we need less knives as men or more? You let me know. These are my categories that I think are super important. Throw a bonus one on for kitchen knives, but I just don't have one. Haha. So these are the ones that truly, truly matter to me. All right. Looking forward to hearing what you have to say. I will catch you on the next one.